G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the west side of the map, playing as the Abbasid dynasty in the colour teal. We've got Crackity here, even though he's going under a new name, Carmody here. I suspect that's probably because he does get a bit heated sometimes in his streams. So he's going for probably a new approach, maybe a little bit more of a calm approach. So I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch Crackity play live over on Twitch. But before I do, well, I mean, I'm still technically going to do that, but anyway, let's move on over on the other side of the map. Playing as the Ottomans in the color yellow. It is Ottoman. That is right, we've Ottoman on the Ottomans. It is, it's a little bit confusing for anybody who's unfamiliar with the civs of the game. Otherwise, you'll be understanding it perfectly. Nice little base building already coming out from Ottoman as well. I'm loving this. Yeah, the only issue he's going to have is there's a giant tree line here preventing expansion. But it's about the best you can do on a map like Altai. I tell you what, when it comes to this map, not really any good spots to expand. You're just so tight in the early game. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this game goes. So we've got an early military school. No real surprises from Ottoman here. And this is very, very standard. Going up to the 9 vils on food before he moves out to gold. So everything here looking very standard. Over on the other side of the map, though, I did see Crackity's gathering up a lot of wood here, and I'm starting to wonder what... Hold on. Is he going for a Dark Age... Is his pot... Hold on a minute. Is he going for a Dark Age Tier 1 military... Not military wing, but like the... Is he looking to get the Golden Age in the Dark Age? Is that what he's doing? Oh, he is too! Look at this! Oh, this is wild! I don't think I've... This is... This is actually pretty crazy. Wow. Okay, all right. How many buildings does he have? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll be his 10 buildings, right? But why is he building a house on the gold vein and not a mining camp on the gold vein? Wait, did 8? Hold on, 8. That'll be 9 right there. Okay, that's gonna be number 10 coming down right now. Wow. Okay. I did not expect this. This is kind of crazy. I've never seen this before at all. Hold on. Oh, Crackity. Oh, he's messed up the build order. Oh, poor Crackity. He's messed up the build order. He's been idle for a few seconds now. There we go. He finally gets the villager in queue. Mining camp going to be going down. So still got a way to go before mastering this little opening. But I tell you what, this has got some potential. I'm curious to see how this game unfolds. So a lot of people might be wondering, what the heck do you get by putting the Golden Age this early on? So it's an extra 15% gather rate to all resources. So think about like your basic upgrades, okay? Your tier 1 level of upgrades for all of your economic buildings. Your mining upgrade, your horticulture, fertilization, horticulture, same thing. And then your double broadaxe. All of these provide 15% increases. So Crackity has just gone and done that almost immediately in this game. Obviously, you know, it still took him about 2 minutes before he was able to get it up. But still, that is pretty damn early. The main thing that concerns me is how much does this actually delay his age up. Now, interestingly, where is that scout at? I haven't seen his scout. I mean, how many sheep has he got? I see 4 sheep here. Scout is out. It looks like he's done a loop, brought back the sheep, but he didn't get a whole lot of sheep. I'd expect with a strategy like this, you could afford to spend a little bit more time out on the map with your scout, which could result in more sheep, because you could do a more aggressive route. But it might not be the case today. Now, he's got a pretty good spawn. He shouldn't have to worry too much about any enemy aggression coming in towards his packed gold vein. Or if he does, it's going to take its time. And you can see the spear just standing guard on the stone mine on the front, or the stone outcropping on the front, just because it makes a little bit more sense. I mean, you can go all the way around the back, but what are you really going to be denying out there? But we do see it's now going to be the economic wing coming through for Crackity. Now, this is the question that you've got to ask yourself. Is it worth delaying your age up until you get to... Like, is it worth delaying your age up for this? Or is it just better to go for the age up and then immediately move on to your stragglers, immediately move on onto your wood? Because there's a part of me that thinks the 2 minutes of difference that you get probably just doesn't justify it. Because there's a couple of things that you're missing out on. Most notably, you're missing out on fresh foodstuffs. But you're also missing out on things like Fertile Crescent. Wheelbarrow, you've obviously got access to, but I feel like there's a pretty big loss there, and I guess that's the question as to whether it becomes viable to go fresh foodstuffs or not. I know that there was actually a video done by Age of Noob where he talked about fresh foodstuffs, but I don't remember what the verdict was. I'm pretty sure it was you just want to get fresh foodstuffs as quickly as possible, even if you go down a villager. And the math checks out, right? If you make 3 villagers every minute and you're saving 18 food for every villager, That means you're going to be saving a total of 54 54 food every minute. And a villager only collects at a base level 40 food. Even if it's on a boar or something, it's still going to be collecting like 49 food. If you get survival techniques, that maybe then it starts to challenge that, but obviously you're not going to be getting that as the Abbasid. You're not going to be taking any boar. But we do see Spears able to come out and provide some pressure. He does pick up that extra fire armor, so could look to repair this down, but he's working towards that town center. And this is part of the problem, right? Like, you've delayed the access to the archery range, so now you're delaying access to defending on this position, which delays your town center from coming up. So there's a whole bunch of fallout from going for this Age 1 Golden Age. Golden Age... Age 1, dark golden age. Explain that one to the people. How do you have a golden age that's dark? Anyway, now we've got the age up. Immediately, the archery range gets thrown down. 3ville's going to be throwing that bad boy down. What other upgrades do we see coming in? Fresh food stuff's going to be on the way in. Spearman moving in towards the town center. Going to take a couple of shots before the villager falls back. Archery range on the way through. Moving towards the enemy base. He spots out what his enemy is up to. And it looks like... Oh, gosh, look at that. Very awkward positioning there. It feels bad, doesn't it? It feels bad when you go for a blacksmith and you don't get half of your buildings or two-thirds of your buildings into it. But still working the siege down. First of the archers on the way through here. Needs to rotate these villas in a little bit more. Really starting to stack up the wood. There's the fresh food stuff. Wheelbarrow comes through at the same time. And now Villager's going to be rotating out over onto stone. He might be losing one here if he's not careful. There's the first one. It's going to go down. And now just going to be turning his attention towards fighting these spears. Loses another villager. This is a bit of a mistake here from Crackity. And now we see the follow-up. It's going to be a Sparky. This could look to put on pressure towards these archers, or it could just look to try and take out the villagers. He's lost 3 workers so far, Crackity has. Will it be a 4th? And I suspect it might be. This one's getting down pretty low. How much damage is he able to do here? He does indeed get it. Jeez, Crackity not having a good game so far. The Ottoman opening has definitely punished him. So it seems like in this matchup, I mean, I like the idea from Crackity. The question is going to be whether it is worth it against this civilization. And look at the pressure that's coming out. He gets the shot off. It's 5 workers killed early on in this game. And Ottoman up to a 7-villager lead early on in this game. I tell you what, Ottoman, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from, but I love your stuff. This is great aggression coming out from you early on. And you are really... You're putting it up against Crackity, who's one of the best players in the world here. Yeah, well played so far. Let's take a look at Ottoman's base and see how he's doing. Blacksmith only going to be affecting the archery range that's coming up, as well as the existing military school. And now it looks like Crackity's still committing more villagers. Don't tell me he loses another one. Indeed he does. So he's up to 6 villager, or 6 worker losses. There's the 7th one. Crackity almost... Is Crackity even playing this game? Excuse me, Crackity? What is going on right here? Just really throwing away these villagers here. Archer's now going to be under pressure. The Sparky numbers are really impressive. Honestly, they just keep coming. I think that's probably the issue is Crackity just expects it to stop, and it just doesn't stop coming in. Barracks finally coming up here. And I can't help but feel like this is the consequence of the opening that Crackity's gone for here. Has he moved into Fertile Crescent? Yeah, he has looked to pick it up. Outpost going to get thrown down. Ideally, you'd love to see a town center thrown down here for Crackity. He's going to have to settle for the outpost, and lots of villagers getting pulled. Crackity, I got to ask the question, man. Is your little brother playing on your account right now? I mean, you're playing well, but the decision-making just not looking the best. And now this outpost, it's going to go up, but at what cost as more villagers continue going down here? He looks to try and pull off the villagers until 5 of them get inside. That's going to guarantee the integrity of the mining camp and the stone encampment, or the stone emplacement, stone outcropping. There we go. We got it. We got it eventually. For the meantime, that's until Ottoman decides what his next move is. And I've got a sneaky suspicion it's going to be siege engineering. For the moment, it looks like he's just going to be sticking with iron undermesh, though. Picking up that early upgrade. Beautiful aggression coming out from Ottoman here. I'm loving the way he's playing. He's gone for an early horticulture. Not something you always see from the Ottomans. Normally, it is that double broadaxe that they move into. But I guess the amount of cavalry he's been making here definitely justifies it. And take a look at these walls that we've got up. Interesting walls coming out from Ottoman. Normally, you'd just be like, I'm just going to throw a small little wall in here. He just walls off the whole thing up towards that side. Interesting decision-making. Once again, and Sparky numbers looking really good. Archers coming out here. This aggression is absolutely top-notch from Ottoman. Crackity's far behind, and take a look at that villager difference. Already a 10 villager difference here. It's going to be looking for that second town center. Very far behind, and I can't help but feel like the golden age in the dark age has just resulted in a dark feudal age. It's just, it's gone from dark to darker. This is basically the age of midnight that Crackity currently sits in. Down 10 vils, 10 minutes into this game, we switch over the income. And you can see just how far behind he is. We're talking 1,200 income over here on the right compared over to, what, 700, 800 income? There's a big difference between these two at the moment. Even though he's got that extra 15% gather rate for each of the resources, you still can't help but feel like it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. More villagers going to be going down. That's the 10th, the worker kill of this game. Ottoman playing out of his absolute mind here against Crackity. And still applying pressure on the front side. Outpost is pretty solid here. Second town center, where is it? It gets thrown down over on the deer patch. A pretty decent spot, actually, here. Obviously, on Altai, your deer does spawn closer to your main base. So it means a second town center down here is quite valuable. It's still defensive. So very well played. Wall up towards the north is slowly but steadily coming through. We're right on board now with Ottoman and see how he's doing. See what his plans are. And whether we've got that siege engineering through just yet. Not going to be the case. I feel like you've definitely got to make a choice. Do I go for siege engineering? Or do I go for castle age? And I feel like that's a very... I don't want to say that it's... I don't know if the right word is dichotomy, between, or a false dichotomy right there, but you can see he's adding in the second town center. I'd almost be tempted to say, honestly, go for trade. You've gone with such wonderful aggression early on. You've sealed a huge lead. Close out the game just by going trade. You go into trade, and the chances of you falling behind are incredibly low. Even into the late game against the Abbasid dynasty, one of the best late game civilizations, I think trade could be very valuable here, but he does opt for the second town center instead. This is definitely the safer play, and it guarantees his food income throughout the game. If you stick with one town center, you can get to the 20-minute mark, the 25-minute mark, and you don't have enough villagers to match the gold income that you've got. You've got such great gold income, but you'll find yourself behind on wood, you'll find yourself behind on food as well. So it does make sense to be going into 2 TCs. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if we do see him move into traders as well as behind that. But the battering ram going to be coming out now. Looking to apply pressure on the outpost. Force him off the stone. Now, how much stone has Crackity taken? It's only enough for the 2 TCs at this point. Still yet to add in enough for a third. And that's a curious decision for me. Is Crackity going castle age? Surely not. I mean, we did see more Spahi over on towards that west side, but surely he's not going castle age here. Now, I'm going to be spotting out that battering ram. He sees it on the way. Archers jumping inside that outpost. Going to be looking to try and defend. A couple of horsemen here to help out. But all attention now drawn on that outpost, and Crackity under pressure. Going to be losing. If he loses access to this position, gone is the prospect of any additional town centers and this forward wood. He'll have to move on to the back line, which he's already started doing. Right on board with Ottoman. Up towards the north side. His villager survived with 2 health and managed to complete that wall entirely. And looky what we've got here. But never mind, he's going around to the other side. So he's going to be trying to wall out Crackity on both edges of the map. Crackity going to be doing his best to defend. Villagers, pops them out the other side. Noticeably, they've lost a lot of health so far. No textiles coming through. There it is. There's the textiles, as you would expect when a push is coming in this size. You want to give the battering rams an appropriate respect they deserve. So it's important to get that textile upgrade. He's focusing down the meta, I think, here. Yeah, he is. Nice job focusing it down, but he's not going to do enough damage to it. Meta falls back. And now on the front line, Spahi just bugging out a little bit here. The spearman numbers don't look effective enough. At the same time, take a look at the archers. And the 2 battering rams should be able to take down this town center. And behind this, Ottoman's having an absolute beautiful day. Villagers now going to get pulled to try and deal with this. Already 11 villagers taken out this game. But the problem that you're going to have in addition to insufficient wood is insufficient army. And Crackity here is in trouble early on in this game. The question is, how is he possibly going to recover from this? He's down 30 population early on. And now you've got to start asking the question, was the golden age and the dark age really worth it? You set yourself behind that extra bit of time. You lost out on that mining camp with the spearmen just doing so much damage there. And now it looks like this town center may indeed fall. Battering ram number 1 has fallen. The second one going to begin focus as well. 22 workers killed so far, down to 33 population. How does Crackity possibly hold this? Villagers continuing to try and pop out. He manages to get them onto the other side. Comes through, hits the flip shot, ducks back into the town center. Out the backside, it's for the repair. No, it's not going to matter just at this point. Pulls Vils, keeps himself in the game. And I think Crackity's got to be thinking right now, like, all right, my enemy is probably on 1 town center. As long as I survive through this, I'm going to be okay. But the thing is, he doesn't realize how far he is behind. Because it's so hard to calculate things when you try and use strategies like this, because you don't know where the timings are. You don't know what the windows are. And his enemy is insulated. This whole time his enemy is just insulated because of the second town center. It means that that Crackity has to run just to keep up with his enemy. And the problem is he's 20 vills behind at this point. So even if he was to drop a third town center, it's going to take him a long time even just to come up to parity here. It makes it a very difficult ask for Crackity. I will reveal at this point that Ottoman is currently ranked Diamond 3. So playing up against Crackity, who's Conqueror 3, I think top 30. Crackity's a very good player, but Ottoman, I tell you what, he's playing out of his mind right now. Doing everything perfect, looking like a Conqueror player. Horseman going to be coming around here. Crackity trying his best to hold on. Vill's going to be popped out shortly, looking to try and take out the first battering ram. It's quite low on health. There he goes. Pops it through to the wrong angle. Second one come out. He needs to make sure he's right-clicking onto the stone outcropping. And there's the focus on the first battering ram, but it looks like Vill's on the backside. They're repairing out the Wazoo. He's got plenty to repair. More Vills get popped out. He's just sacking the villagers. Look at this. He's sacking the villagers at this point. Down to 28 villagers, 27 villagers. Just keep going down. Crackity here with the new strategy. Really getting punished. And look, I think what's important to remember is that even if you're playing up against lower level players, obviously, at the end of the day, like a Conqueror 3 against a Diamond 3, 99% of the time, the Conqueror 3 is going to win. It's where Crackity pulls out something a little bit different, where there's a risk. And that's exactly what's happened today. So there's a part of me that feels bad that we've watched a game from Crackity where he's brought out a new strategy and it hasn't gone his way. But at the same time, you got to respect Ottoman on the Ottomans. He's played it immaculately so far. Honestly, if I had to guess, I'd be like, yeah, he's Conqueror 3. Definitely Conqueror 3. Macro is solid. Really, really good micro as well. No mistakes. Strategic perspective is on point. My only question would be like, why didn't he go for this wall first? Why did he go for this big one? That would be my only question for him. But like throughout this game, and we see a third town center now getting thrown down for Ottoman. Jeez Louise, this guy does not know how to lift the pedal off the gas, it seems. Or rather, the foot off the gas. The pedal off the metal. I guess that's another way that we could say it. So Crackity now going to be outnumbered on villager count, going to be outnumbered on TC count, going to be outnumbered on military count. The question is, how do you get back into a game like this? And I feel like there is one option for you, and it's a Hail Mary. For anyone who's not familiar with a Hail Mary, it's a concept or a term used, often associated with football. It's when you've got no choice but to just go big, and you got to throw it the length of the field. And that feels like what Crackity needs here is a Hail Mary. He needs a way back into this game. And the best way that he could do that would be through abusive trade. If he was able to pull out some magical trade right now, he would be able to do amazing things. Because remember, Abbasid have got those cheaper traders. He's also got access to a potential trade wing where he can move into it. Now, we'll just apologize. I've got a little man who's just waddled in here at the moment. How you doing, little fella? You got anything to say? You got something to say for the microphone? Very good, very good. All right, well, that's the little man's take on the game at the moment. The problem for Crackity, even though he's losing more and more villagers out, is that he's been walled in. There's no prospect, there's no chance of him making a comeback because his enemy's walled in, not just one side, but both sides. So the risk associated here for Ottoman is not even negligible, it's non-existent. He's got 3 TCs, completely insulated from any kind of economic wing play, walled in against the trade. There's no prospect of a way for Crackity to come back into this game. Unless, maybe if he was to trade on the edge of the map, and now Ottoman's going to be going for his own trade. We're 19 minutes into this game. Crackity is not giving up. I respect that from the man, but at the same time, Ottoman just knows what is going on. Look at this double market now coming down as well for him. He is so well insulated against any adverse outcomes this game, and now he's setting up camp on the other side of the map. What an absolute tragedy for Crackity right here. Outpost is getting fortified. Spahi moving up towards the north. He's looking for another avenue to try and attack here. Still got the little man buzzing around me at the moment. I don't know if you guys can hear him. He's got this little, he's in this little walker thing that we've just picked up for him at the moment. And my wife's just carrying him around everywhere. Age Up now going to be coming through as well for Ottoman. Where is it? MIA getting thrown down. Plenty of villagers here. And now in the middle of the map. Crackity trying to push out. Does he find a way back into it? I tell you what, I feel like... I mean, we talked earlier about going for the Golden Age and the Dark Age. But I really feel like that was pivotal this game. I think in any other matchup, it may have actually had some decent success. If you'd gone that matchup against, say, China, it could be a different story. But the fact that you're doing it against the Ottomans, who've got that early pressure with the spear, they're able to prevent you from taking the stone, and without the stone, you can't progress the rest of your game. And now you're just kind of stuck on 2 TCs. I feel like maybe if you were on 4 TCs, you'd be able to get the comeback. But look at the villager difference right here. Crackity under huge pressure here. Age Up comes through. Moves into... What do we got from the military schools? He's got 3 military schools and the MIA. No blacksmith around it just yet. It's going to be a slow and steady push. From Ottoman, I just love to see battering rams thrown down at this point. Battering rams timed with the Mangonel. Get those veterancy upgrades. And you're able to finish this game off. And I think that's probably one of the things that you're going to notice. If you were to go from, say, the Diamond level to the Conqueror level, the difference is going to be knowing how to finish off games. Conqueror players know how to finish off games and know what they need to do to make the game end sooner. Whereas people in the Diamond level still have a little bit of difficulty. Because at this point, I would say we're approaching 99%. The Ottoman has won this game. I don't know if you guys can still hear the little guy. He's vocalizing at the moment. He does this weird thing. He's been doing it for a couple of months. So most babies, when they're learning to talk, they'll do like their like ba 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 da 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 ma ma ma, that kind of thing. But our little guy, he's been going from the throat. He's been like, he's been doing it for months. It's so funny. Oh gosh, there's a part of me that's a little bit worried about him. But so far it's all good. He's excited. Yeah, he's very excited. He's excited for Ottoman doing so well. So now we got the battering rams coming through. This needs to be timed with the Mangonel. Mangonel a little bit slow because there's no blacksmith with it. And Knight's definitely going to be another way to secure the victory here. Once you get those Knights in, once you get the Knights in underneath the town center, just like he's doing at the moment, that's exactly it. So where's Crackity's units? Let's ride on board with him and see how he's doing on the defensive. I've just seen the score. Down 2k score. Crackity really trying to keep it together in this game. Really thinks he's in with a chance here. 46 vills against 97. I don't like the odds of this one. And now trying his best to hold on. The horseman number's looking decent. Archer number's not too bad either, but he's up against veterancy, up against the meta. And remember, he's got those additional upgrades on the top as well, compared to Crackity, who's just sitting on ranged armor, or ranged attack. Villagers getting pulled. Battering ram's going to be taken out. But Janissary's coming through. He's got 6 gens pulled from the back. A little bit of a wild decision here from Ottoman to be going into this. Ideally needed that Mangonel. Wherever that Mangonel was, it would have been able to deal with all of these archers, but it looks like Ottoman is able to hold on in this position. Janissary's going to be pushing up together, and now the Knight's going to be coming in, and Crackity's going to be left with his head in his hands, and the game getting called. Fellas, make sure you go check out Crackity. Now, I don't know where Ottoman lives. I don't know who he is, where he's from, what he's up to, but I'm going to call you out right now, Ottoman. If you're watching this video, make sure you comment, let everybody know where they can find you, because I tell you what, you're an absolute blast, mate. Let's see plenty more of you, mate. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.